there are four main components of the forward stroke. Let's talk about them in detail. There's the twist forward. Then you have the plant, where you're going to plant the paddle blade all the way up to the throat in order to get a lot of power. Then you're going to untwist by unrotating your abs. And the final, and one of the most important, is feathering the blade out of the water and twisting forward again. You're going to twist forward by rotating that abdomen. You're going to plant that paddle blade. You're going to untwist those abs. You're going to recover that paddle. You're going to rotate forward with that twist, plant that paddle blade, untwist. I'm really trying to overemphasize the rotation because most of the power is going to come from your abdominal muscles by that twist.
When doing the stern pry, you want to fully submerge the paddle blade close to the gunnel. Once the blade is submerged, you want to extend your elbow and push away from the gunnel. Stern draw will move the stern of the canoe toward your paddle side. When starting the stern dry, you want to plant your paddle away from the gunnel and submerge it fully. Once the paddle blade is fully submerged, it is then time to use torso rotation. You will also want to use a bit of elbow bend to pull the blade straight towards the gunnel. When you get close to the gunnel, it is time for the recovery. You will slice the blade straight up out of the water using your elbow and either do another draw stroke or continue with the forward stroke. You guessed it, the backstroke is used to move the canoe backwards. When doing the backstroke, you want to rotate your torso backwards. This will help you locate where you're placing your paddle. After you have rotated your torso backwards, it is now time to plant the paddle. Once the paddle is planted, you want to untwist the backwards torso rotation and bring the blade toward the bow. When paddling in the bow, once your blade reaches your knees, you want to recover and either do another backstroke or continue with the forward stroke. The bow draw will help you turn the bow of the canoe towards the paddle side. When done correctly, the bow paddler can turn the canoe without any help from the stern paddler. When doing the bow draw, you want to plant your blade away from the gunnel. You then want to use your torso and shoulder to pull the bow of the boat toward the paddle. Watch as I turn the boat without any help from the stern paddler. The closer you place your blade toward the bow of the canoe, the faster the canoe will turn. Play around with the blade placement to find the best fit for different situations. The crossbow draw is used to turn the bow of the canoe toward the opposite side of your paddle. The first thing you want to do is lift the paddle blade out of the water and bring it all the way across the gunnel using torso rotation. It is very important to turn your head with the rotation, otherwise the shoulder of the paddle will hit you right in the face. Now that the blade is on the opposite side of the canoe, you want to plant the blade like a bow draw and untwist. Once you're close to the gunnel, it is now time to slice the blade out of the water toward the front of the boat, the bow, and either recover into another cross bow or cross over the gunnel and do a forward stroke. This was the hardest stroke for me to learn with the one-arm freedom, so have patience when practicing this one. The first thing you want to do is bring the paddle across the gunnels, just like you would for a crossbow draw. Now that you are on the opposite side, you want to reach your blade forward, plant, and begin using a little bit of torso rotation as well as some arm muscle. You will notice when doing a cross forward that it uses a little bit more arm muscle and less torso rotation than any of the other strokes. You should also note that this is a very short stroke, so you want to stop at your knees and slice the blade out of the water and continue with another cross forward or cross the gunnel and do a forward stroke. One thing that you might notice when first starting is that the paddle is fluttering during your stroke. This means that you need to use more torso rotation and less arm power.